son up to hold the door for him.
Okay.
She came to keep it 100, not the BS show. So listen to Queen Key. She here with some free game. No he say, no she say, but maybe a replay of the news, giving views as she dropping shoes. Maybe even a couple tools that you be using. Yeah, cause there's a lot we need to talk about. So we gon' kick it like we chillin' at the barbershop. BS talk. BS talk. This is BS talk.
Hello and welcome to Queen Key BS Talk. So today we are going to be talking about these young men bringing guns to school, walking around. I mean, it's just so much going on with the gun violence. So we want to get into where is the line between taking these guns to school and the line between going to church. So where have we fell off with? We used to, when I was young growing up, it used to be the home place was going to church. So now where's the home place for these young kids? Where are they going? So I want to turn to my brother and I want to ask him what he thinks about the kids bringing these guns to school, and where's the line drawn from them taking the guns to school and the church?
Okay. How y'all doing? I'm Corey. It's a pleasure to be on my sister's show. And just to piggyback off what she's saying, it's a lost art. There's some chains that has been broken. That it's obvious that we see it. We all see it. So she asked the question, where do they go from here? Or how can they change it? Or it starts with one, it starts with accountability. Somebody has to be accountable for the raising, the teaching, the providing, the encouragement, and somebody has to be responsible and accountable for those things. So when we say the gun violence in the schools and stuff like that, it's not just something that just popped out of nowhere. It's not this didn't just come out of nowhere. It is a trickling down effect from what is being instilled in them. And so it's a lot that's going on, but it's not finished. It's not the end. It's not over. It's just we have to start. Especially in our community, it's certain things that we're lacking in. One, you said the church. The church is lacking because the church has a bad stigma because of how church folk were carrying about church. The barbershops. We're losing power in our barbershops. We're losing power in our rec centers. And so it's a lot that we need to go back to the basis of. And I don't think that the world has changed to a dramatic point to where we can't go back to the basics, because the basics still works. It's just the teachers and the accountability partners have to step their game up. I remember one time, in my family, which I come from a plagued family, a drug plagued family, and so the trait was passed down. You did what your uncles did. Your uncles did what their uncles did, and so the more and more we got into that, you had some habits and some things that came about, which is what you was taught in your house and in your lifestyle and in your neighborhoods. But the one thing that was also instilled, no matter how bad you did, the respect level, the respect of elderly, the respect of children, that's now gone. And so I just feel like, man, we got to get back to the basics of what were being instilled long ago.
So with that being said, are you saying so from when the child is young, you have to start instilling things in them? So the time is out. So when they 10, 12 years old, and so now you're trying to teach them things that you should have been instilling in them from a young person. Now you're trying to instill in this 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. Now you want them to start doing what you say when you should have been instilling in them these things from the beginning.
Right.
So we got to take back the parents got to take back and demand respect.
Right.
It ain't no thing where you're just saying let your child run the household.
Right.
We're not demanding respect.
Right.
So.
Right. And the one thing though, we have to get parenting under some kind of structure. A parent can't show a child something that they don't know themselves. You know what I'm saying? If a parent is a full-fledged gangster, that's what he's instilling in his children nowadays. I remember we was in the mall and a child used profanity at one of the workers in the mall, and the mama thought that was so funny. She actually praised the child because she said the cuss word the correct way. You know what I'm saying? And so that child can't learn how to be respectable if the parents don't know how to be respectable. So what do we do as parents if you don't know? That's when it's called, it takes a village. Because we didn't know everything. My mom didn't know everything, but somebody in the neighborhood did. But the village got to step up and speak up. You can't be a quiet village because nothing gets done to a closed mouth. And so we have gotten this fear factor that can't nobody tell us nothing. We've got this fear factor that you better not tell my children nothing. And so we have to get back to the village mentality that we used to have, because one, it's going to take more than you to raise your child. If you think about it, a parent only has a small percentage of the child's upbringing. The rest of it is coming from neighborhoods. It's coming from schools. It's coming from friends. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it's definitely coming from the internet, social media. That's our biggest bug. And so what do you do when you're combating all of these negative entities or these negative things that's in your child's life? So we have to be just as strong when it comes to the positive things. You have to, if you know that all this is going on and you need help with your children, you have to put them in positive situations. You know what I'm saying? How do you do that? You got school activities. One thing my mom and my parents did, they said that we're not going to give you time to idle. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. Kids don't have nothing to do because the parents ain't allowing them to do anything. I remember when we was growing up, mama said, get outside. Now parents don't want their kids to go outside. And so they're being exposed to everything that's not positive. You know, you walk back in my neighborhood I come from, you walk down that hill and you got Mr. Massey down there. You got all these other people down there that's going to make sure you stay in line. And so it took a village. What my mama didn't know, somebody in that neighborhood did. If you didn't know how to cook, if you didn't know how to groom yourself, especially these single women that's raising these men, it's hard for you. I know they're going to combat it, but it's hard for you to teach a man how to groom himself because you don't have men parts. And I tell a woman this all the time. I said a woman can raise a boy biblically because there are rules into raising a man. Everybody know that a man that don't work don't eat. But it's more to it in the raising a man. because you have to not only raise him physically, but you have to deal with the male's mental. And so that's going to take help. And so that's why we have to open up and get back to the village mentality, because it's going to take more than one. It's going to take more than you, because I guarantee you that it's more than you that's instilling stuff into your children. Your children got a cell phone, they got tablets, they got laptops, they got all this stuff that is nothing but is nothing but knowledge that's going into them. I didn't say positive. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge can go in all sorts of ways. I had this one kid that was in the barbershop today. I said, man, hey, have you went and got